sleep. I used to think sleep paralysis was just a glitch in the brain, some chemical misfire between REM sleep and waking. Scary, yeah, but harmless. People would talk about the witch on the chest, the shadow man in the corner. I'd read the stories and think, at least they knew it wasn't real. I don't know that anymore. It started like it does for most people. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, totally frozen, eyes wide open but body locked down. Couldn't move a finger, couldn't scream, just stare. Every muscle screamed to move, but nothing happened. My chest felt like it had a boulder on it. I'd hear faint whispers, like voices coming from under the bed or behind the wall. The first few times were terrifying. But I told myself what everyone does. It's just your brain waking up wrong. It's a dream bleeding into reality. Just ride it out. It'd happen once every few weeks, then once a week, then every night. And that's when it started getting worse. The first time I saw her, I was lying on my back. That's how it always starts, you know. And I felt the air shift. I don't know how else to describe it. Like the temperature dropped, but not just cold. Like the room went still. Dead still. I couldn't hear the hum of the fridge down the hall. I couldn't hear my own breathing. Just nothing. And then I saw her in the corner, standing right next to my closet. She wasn't a shadow. Shadows don't look at you. Shadows don't tilt their heads and listen when you try to scream through your teeth. She was tall, too tall. Her arms hung low, almost to her knees. Her head was wrong, too small, like it was pressed and molded by force. I couldn't see her eyes, but I could feel her watching. Then she took a step forward. My body screamed. I tried to jolt up, to throw myself out of the bed. But I was still locked down, totally paralyzed. I couldn't even blink. She stepped closer, slow and silent, her feet making no sound on the floor. When she reached the edge of the bed, she crouched, her face inches from mine, and she whispered, "Still awake." I don't know how long she stared at me. I must have blacked out or fallen back asleep. When I woke up, the sun was already up, and my jaw ached from how hard I'd clenched it. After that, it wasn't just at night. I'd see glimpses of her in reflections, in the microwave door, or the window in the stairwell at work. Always just a silhouette, but I knew it was her. That crooked posture, the long arms. One time I saw her standing across the street, behind a row of parked cars, her head cocked sideways like she was thinking about something. I started leaving the lights on at night, TV on too. Background noise helped. It made me feel less alone. But it didn't stop the paralysis. It just made her bolder. One night I woke up to my TV playing static, full volume, just shh. My body froze, chest tight, breath shallow. I couldn't even look around. But I heard her, not in the room this time, in the bed. Under the blanket, I felt something press against my leg, slow, deliberate, like fingers. I couldn't move, couldn't see, but I felt it crawling up my thigh. Then her voice, right next to my ear. So warm in here. I woke up drenched in sweat, screaming, thrashing off the mattress. The TV was off, everything silent. But the corner of the bed was still indented, like someone had just stood up. I started recording myself while I slept. I know, classic horror movie move. But I had to know. I thought maybe I was just dreaming. Maybe it was all in my head. The first few nights, nothing. Just tossing and turning, a few snores. Then on the fifth night, something. Around 3:17 a.m., the camera glitch jumps. Just for a second. The room flickers, like the lighting changes, too fast to catch unless you're watching frame by frame. And then, she's there, not entering, not walking in. Just there. One frame she's gone. The next, she's standing beside the bed. Her head turns to look at the camera. Not me. The camera. And she smiles. That was the last night I tried filming anything. I stopped sleeping. Coffee, energy drinks, whatever I could find. I'd stay up for days at a time. Once I hit 72 hours awake, I started seeing her even when my eyes were open. One afternoon, I nodded off on the bus, just for a second, and woke up paralyzed in the seat. Everyone around me frozen like mannequins, not breathing, not blinking. And standing in the aisle, swaying with the motion of the bus, was her, eyes right on mine. And she said, "Getting closer." Then I woke up for real, gasping, surrounded by people who didn't even notice I'd been asleep. But I swear, one of them looked just like her. Normal clothes, human face, but her smile was all wrong, way too wide, and her eyes never blinked. I started writing notes to myself, slipping one in my pocket before bed. "You're awake. This is real. Check the time. Ask someone a question only you would know." Some mornings I'd wake up with a different note in my handwriting. One said, "She's inside." Another just had a smiley face drawn in red ink. I don't own a red pen. One night, I did everything right. Stayed up late, heavy meal, no caffeine, white noise playing. I thought maybe I could get a dreamless sleep. But I woke up again, not in bed, not even in my room. I was lying on cold tile, couldn't move, couldn't speak. The air smelled like rust and mold. I was in some kind of narrow hallway, lit by flickering yellow lights. Pipes lined the ceiling, dripping something onto the floor beside me. And she was there. Not just her, others too. Dozens of them, all tall and wrong-shaped, some crawling on the walls, some hunched in corners. But she walked toward me like she owned the place. She knelt beside me, and this time, she didn't whisper. She said, "You're finally home." I woke up screaming, slamming into the wall. My sheets were shredded. My feet were cut and bleeding like I'd been running barefoot on broken glass. There was something under my fingernails, black and sticky, like tar. That day I quit my job, packed my bags, and drove 6 hours to my brother's house. I didn't tell him anything, just said I needed a place to crash. He let me stay in the guest room. I barely slept, but the paralysis stayed away. For 2 days. Then she found me again. Last night my brother heard me screaming. Said he opened the door and saw me sitting straight up in bed, eyes wide but not moving. He said I turned to look at him and smiled, but it wasn't a normal smile. He swears I spoke in a voice that wasn't mine. Low, guttural. Said I told him, "It's watching you now." I don't remember that. But when I woke up, there were scratch marks all over the inside of the door. From the inside. Like someone had tried to claw their way out. I don't think I'm asleep anymore. I don't think I ever fully wake up. I'll be walking down the street and suddenly feel that weight on my chest, even standing up. I'll blink and the world around me will go still. Everyone frozen. Then I hear her voice behind me, or see her reflection in a car window, waving. She's not just part of my sleep now. She's crossed over. Or maybe I did. Maybe I never woke up. Last night was different. I opened my eyes and couldn't move. Nothing new. But the room was wrong. Too big. The walls breathing, pulsing, like a living thing. I felt something wrap around my ankles, something cold and wet. And she was standing over me, closer than ever, face fully visible. She doesn't look human up close. Skin like cracked porcelain, eyes like pits, endless and starless. And her smile, God, it stretches all the way to her ears. No lips, just teeth. She bent down and whispered one last thing. "You're not leaving." Then everything went black. I don't think this version of me is real anymore. If you're reading this, and you've ever had sleep paralysis, if you've ever seen something watching from the corner, don't let it touch you. Don't let it whisper your name. Don't let it in, because once it knows you're awake, you'll never really sleep again. Edit. There's someone in my reflection, but I'm not moving.